Hi, Tony Bernard here, and today I want to talk to you about successful projects. They just don't happen. They are well planned, scheduled, managed, and monitored through to a successful completion. Here are two items that I want to help you with, okay? Plus, I'm going to give you some bonus items as well. So, let me give you number one. I want to give you the 5 critical elements that greatly improve project's performance. And 2, how to update a wall plot schedule to show progress in a very graphical, easy to see way. Plus, like I said, some other bonus items. I help projects maximize performance by utilizing proven strategies. By using proven strategies, I help projects save upwards of 7% or more cost and 13% or more time. This is an interesting quote here. The loss of skills and control. The arrival of easy-to-use scheduling tools with a graphical interface radically changed this industry. Scheduling migrated to the desktop, and the myth that anyone can be a scheduler provided they knew how to switch on a PC emerged. As a direct consequence of this loss of skills, the importance of scheduling has dropped in almost all organizations, and most projects run late. But the tide is turning. That's from Patrick Weaver back in April of 2006. Great article. So this is very sad. Over a 10-year period of time, 94% of the 494 projects surveyed were not using all of these proven strategies to maximize project performance. Now let me give you those 5 critical elements. Number 1, critical path method of scheduling, CPM. Number 2 is integrate all phases of the project. Number 3 is resource load the schedule. Number 4 is project team input, review, and buy-in. And then number 5 is the level of detail included in the schedule. So let's look at these in a little bit more detail here. Critical path method of scheduling. It can't be just a bar chart. It must have logic, successors and predecessors. Number 2, integration of all phases of the project. Basically, mob to demob or cradle to grave. There's one aspect that is typically the one left out, and I can share that information with you if you want. Resource load the schedule. Oftentimes it's the craft to perform the work or the contractor, but it could be dollars, it could be a unique piece of equipment. You need to look at your specific needs on your specific project to identify that need. Number 4, project team input, review, and buy-in. Couple review meetings are often needed. I haven't seen actually any schedule that required only one review. If it was a very high-level schedule, it may only require one review, but the level we need to have a successful project is into the details. And that brings us to number 5, the level of details needed in a schedule. It can't be just milestones or high-level activities. It must be the details of the schedule, and I have rules of thumb for that. Contact me now if you want to learn more about this information. Now, let me show you how I update a wall plot schedule so that you can graphically see how a project is doing. Now, look at this information here. You have the unique activity ID, a unique description, the remaining duration. In this case, it's hours because this is a shutdown. The start date and time, the finish date and time, predecessor, successor, and here's the time now string on an actual wall plot. I'm just dummying this up here for this demonstration. So there's the start of the shutdown, January 2nd, 6 a.m. Next update, 1 day later, January 3rd at 6 a.m. I highlight the activities to indicate a rough idea of their progress. So this one was completely done, and you can tell here I got the date and time in both the start and finishes written in. This one here I only have the start, okay, because we haven't finished it yet. We're about 90% done. We started this one a little ahead of schedule, as you can see. Time now is right here. And this one is proceeding beyond time now, so we're a little ahead of schedule on this one here. Again, noting time start, date and start on all activities, both starts and finishes. The next update, we're progressing along here, and these three activities are a little ahead of schedule and indicating the date, the start dates and times right there. And let's go to the next update cycle. Again, just move the string. It's on the 5th. And you'll notice this one activity, it appears to be behind schedule. It's about half done. And this one is about half done, but it's ahead of schedule. So all in all, but this is critical path, so this is ahead of schedule. All in all, I'd say the schedule is maybe a little ahead or on target. Actually, you'd say a little ahead because of the critical path, but you got to be careful about that. That's my word of caution. And then here's the final update. On the 6th at 6 a.m. it finished, and it finished a little behind schedule on the 6th, actually, at 3 a.m. So it did go beyond what this indicates, but we finished the job. And these data points, the start date and time, finish date and time, would all be entered back into the computerized system because you want to have historical reference for future jobs. Now, I got a couple bonus items here for you. Activity descriptions are critical. I have a little white paper on that. It's very important that you have concise, accurate descriptions that depict the scope of the work. How many times have you been on a job? Well, I didn't realize that was included in that item. Well, if you had a great, concise description, that would help alleviate that. Number 2, contingency in schedule. Let me ask you this. Do you have contingency in your budget? Of course you do. Do you have contingency in your schedule? Probably not. I have several ways to address contingencies in schedules. You need contingency in there for RFIs, unknowns, and weather. Okay, weather tends to impact jobs. Next is update cycle and maximum duration. I have a rule of thumb for that. Okay, if you have a job that's 24 hours, a shutdown, or a 10-month job or a 20-month job, you would use different update cycles and you'd want different maximum durations for activities. Number 4, format of the output. How many times have you picked up a schedule and you don't know if it's a whole schedule or part of the schedule, if it's filtered or not, and then the data shown is not really in good, easy to read format. I've had some that the color schemes were absurd. The data on it was not very pleasing or very friendly or easy to understand. So that is very important as well. So contact me if you have any questions. Contact me at tony@tonybernard.com. Please put the subject schedule success. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I want to give you a couple of quotes here from some people I've worked with in the past. Tony Bernard is without question one of the top 5 professionals of thousands. That's from Dave Levitt. He's a retired project manager from Chimbro now, but I started working with him back in 1996. Started working with him in Chimbro back then from time to time. With your help, we were able to shorten our outage duration by nearly 10%. Mark Taylor, I've worked with this client for a number of outages now. And let's talk about Tony played a key role in making this a successful project. By the way, the project was completed on time and on budget. Thank you, Jim Gilman, for that. I worked with a couple jobs with Jim, a jail job and then a Southern Maine Medical Center expansion. So let's see. This is all crude expansion project. This is part of a $10 billion project. These 3 testimonials here. Tony Bernard played a significant role in the success of this project. I worked with Robert Eschenberg for almost a year. Experience that can help save projects money and time. Thank you, Scott Hempstead. He's retired from Jacobs now, but I worked with him for about 6 months directly. He was my boss. This is all related to at the Chimbro manufacturing facility in Brewer, Maine. And this was my functional boss, Chris Adams. I worked for him for about 2 years. One of the most admired traits that I recognize is your dedication to meeting deadlines. So thank you, Chris, for that. We worked 2 years together. So knowing this information is great, but proper implementation is key. That is where I can really help. So give me a call if you want some help with this and to help your projects become more successful. We can talk about your particular situation and see how I can help you out. Thank you very much for your valuable time today. You take care and have an excellent day. Good? Email me right now. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.